What If Season 3, Episode 6, 1872. We got some legendary outlaws, so let's talk about it. Right. Welcome back, Geek Variant. So today we're talking about What If 1872. This is Episode 6 of Marvel's What If series, and this one has shown that they actually do have an idea of what to do. So we've got roughly, as you say, 3 out of 6 that are actually pretty good, pretty decent so far. So, what's your
hmm
take on 1872?
Um, this was one of the better episodes, and it's by far it's got the greatest boss fight scene out of the entire series, and that's my opinion. Um, I mean, the opening scene itself was solid when you got the Westerners and the Cowboys standing around, and they're shooting the bell, and we're like, okay, 10 rings. I kind of get what you're saying, blah blah blah. So that's how you summon Shang-Chi or whatever. And they stand around, wait, he shows up. But that makes me question, how does he do this in other towns? So if some two people doing it at the same time, who does he choose? And how far is it away? But that's how my mind works. But I like how he came in, they did the little monologue like they always do. And he's like, can I remove my hat? I'm like, okay, now it's about to get real. And Kate shows up in the background, and I like this version of her. It was cool. it was it was just BA all around. So he throws his hat up into the air and he just starts to just wreck bodies. And then Kate's in the background, but again, it's movie logic. She has 12 shots. I counted 14 before she caught the next gun, but movie logic, whatever. It was great how he was just going from person to person, dodging the bullets. Kate had his back, taking out everybody in the back, taking the people out on the balcony. Great opening scene. Greatest. I'm putting this episode up near the top. Um, and then we start to learn what's going on. It kind of delved into American history for a minute with the Chinese labor force. But this time they're being kidnapped and nobody knows why. We understand this mysterious Red Hood, and I got triggered by Batman because Red Hood is my dude, and so he kind of reminded me of the Phantom back in the day with the long Floyd cape, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get off on a tangent. So they're running around. They're looking for this Red Hood, mysterious Red Hood. They come upon a town that's already destroyed, and then you get the little kid running out, Jai Lang or whatever. I suck at names.
And
Shooting.
June Fun.
Yeah, there you go. So June Fon's coming up and he tells them what's going on, and he's like, "No, I'm coming with you. It's a train." And they're like, "A train? What? In the desert with no tracks?" And of course, Kate. And again, I love this portrayal. She started squinting and she started doing her little Legolas thing, and you don't know about that because you don't watch Lord of the Rings. But she's looking, and now she can use just like she's using her eyesight, and it's enhanced her vision. And I love that take on her because for her to be Hawkeye, you have to have supervision or something. You just have to. So then they like, okay, let's take the old trail and jump in front, and they sit there and they wait and they see here comes the train, and they're like, ah, it is a train. And I mean that was my thing. So I was like, okay, you got to explain. Maybe they got it on off road tires or something. I don't know, but let's see. So they go up, and who's behind this? Stark, as always, because he sucks. He's always in the middle of something. The Stark tech just everywhere. So in every single universe, Stark has something to do with this going on. So maybe that'll have something to play with, later on. But they run it through, see all this Stark tech, and they're like, they find the passengers, and he finds his dad, and they're like, well, why is everybody just sitting here? They're hypnotized. So there's one last door, and they go up to the door, and what's there? Like 75 guns, and they're all pointed at them, and they really can't do nothing because it's 75 guns pointed at them. And the guy introduced himself as Sonny Birch, which was a great name drop. For those that don't know, Sonny Birch was the black markets dealer in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I
Mm-hmm.
like how they brought in somebody from the MCU actually into this. I love that. So that was
I
great.
mean, they brought somebody earlier too, because that was John Walker that he was fighting in the beginning.
Yeah, but he ain't important. I hate John Walker. I don't.
Nobody
So
liked John Walker.
nobody likes John Walker, so we don't. We try to mention him as less as possible. Yeah. So, um, they get to it. And they're like, okay, let's go see Ten Rings, and they get there. I kind of figured out what was going on because it's a normal plot twist for most action movies. For those that watch a lot of them, it's always not who you expect, but the other person who he's looking for. So the hood turned out to be his sister. It was it was it was a decent plot twist. The better of the two plot twists was that Sonny killed Hawkeye's parents and not Red Hood. That was a better twist than the sister being, taking out Red Hood and taking his powers, and now she's trying to create an army of invincible soldiers or whatever. But that's fine. Um, and then we get to the fight, which was, in my opinion, epic. I loved it. And her fighting style, because I'm a Mortal Kombat guy, she went after Shang Chi started to figure this out and started to lay some blows. She switched up and turned into reptile, turned all invisible. And but again, if he'd have been watching the boys, he could have just realized, watch the snow falling on the shoulders, and you can see. And then after he figured out the reptile stance, she went to Scorpion. It's like it was just a whole bunch going on in this fight, and I loved it. So and inevitably he had to beat her. While Kate's being hypnotized on a train, and again, predictable. The heroes are down. Somebody from the outside got to come in and save them. So the little kids outside ring the bell, which wakes everybody up. It allows Kate to regain her senses, and she puts down Sonny. It allows Shang-Chi to regroup, and now he's back and he's handling his sister, unbeknownst to Kate, of course. So he's out there and he's just like, "You're my sister. You're not going to do anything." Which I like this take because a lot of times the hero's always like, "Well, I'm gonna reform you, do this, do this." The sister was like, "Uh huh, okay," and she
Yeah.
was swinging. She was about to kill him if not for Kate. That's
Hmm.
probably my favorite part because one thing I don't like is the hero always reforms the villains. They're villains for a reason. All of them can't be reformed. That's just how it is. So I love this about that. Um, and then when we get to the ending, they realize they reveal the kid is going to be Iron Fist, which I thought was a okay. That's a good drop in there. I like that. And then oh, I forgot. Uatu is interfering as always.
Yeah, we see him interfere
It's like
more. You know, yeah, he's actually
this was
you see him.
egregious. This was
Yeah, like
egregious.
straight up, like you're gonna see me do what I do to get get attention. So
And so that ended up to him being yanked at the end of the episode by the three most powerful of his group. And so now we're gonna see this leads directly into the next episode. So I
it,
enjoyed
it
this one. This is yeah. It might be my top one.
this is my favorite episode. Such so far. Again, love the action, love the combat, love how they did everything. We got more than one instance of it. So that with the beginning and the ending,
Hmm.
I like how they use Red Hood. You know, stuff. You got me saying now it's the hood, but you keep saying Red
I
Hood.
don't
Got me,
care.
so,
I don't
yeah,
care.
I love how they have the hood set up because the hood's cloak is what allows for the invisibility,
Correct.
and the hood
Like
also
Harry
has
Potter.
boots that allow the hood to fly, and these were taken from a demon Nisanti, like back when by a guy Parker Robbins. So the fact is that they alluded to that, and you see the cloak float off. Means it's going to allow someone else to become the
Exactly.
hood and kind of run that, which could still be part of this series. So that's in the instance. We got a possibly a Iron Fist that could either show up later as grown, or they're going to continue to use the Shang Chi and Kate Bishop again when they pull forward and do the final conflict. I mean, it's shaping out to be good for the final conflict, but again, the path in which they took to get here, why you were 3 out of 6, I don't know. Like you got to come better with this. So we got to see how they're going to run with 7 and 8, and see if it's actually going to be good enough to you know hold up the series without falling
Right.
flat on its face.
So
So
I think we both can agree that if you gave us 5, even 4 good episodes out of the 60 we got, people wouldn't be complaining about getting up early to watch it. And that's my gripe. If I got to get up to watch trash, I'm gonna be upset about it. But I would get up for this.
yeah,
So, and hopefully the next one keeps going.
that's the way though. So the next one's definitely going to focus on the Watcher and him
Yep.
being captured. I think that this is where I don't know if he's going to call for the heroes or if how is he going to be found out? Like that's going to be the question. How is he going to be found out that he's in trouble and he needs help? And then who's going to get called out of all the heroes that have shown up? Because I still feel like we're going to get some from What If season two. More or less a callback.
You're
You
gonna
know,
need because you the Watchers are power, so you're gonna need
yeah,
more than what you have this season.
yeah, all hands on deck. So freaking again, Kaori, Captain Carter, like you're bringing in, uh, you know, Doctor, the Demon Doctor Strange. Like I said, you can bring in everything that you got to fix this problem. But what are the repercussions of them coming in to save Latu and deal with the other Watchers? Like this, this situation just can't go on and not have major consequences for this particular universe.
Right.
Like you're going to jack up, 3 Watchers to save one who's been interfering in everything that's going on. So it's going to be a big transition. And with this being the final season, is any of this going to have an effect on anything within the MCU? So that, like, are they going to reference it? So that, or is it going to just kind of be left in the what if category and kind of just be one and done with as far as the series goes? Just
I
kind of
will
wait and
say
see.
that for me, I like it when they keep it separate because DC also has their own version of What If called Elseworlds, and they
Mhm.
keep them separate. I don't like it when you take a What If and bring it into canon. It needs to be What If for a reason. It needs to be its own specific thing. So let's not. I don't want this to bleed over into the MCU.
I agree. I mean, if they can just finish it off on a good note and stuff like that. And when I say on a good note, I don't mean the heroes have to win. I say on a good note is like I just want good episodes to finish out. Like if it
Right.
finishes out where you know he's done and there's nothing nobody can do about it, and any heroes that try to mess with him, end up getting taken out, and it's a good episode. I don't care, run it. Like I
Yep.
just wanted to be good content all the way through. So find a way to end this amicably with the fans and not give us some stuff like some of the episodes we've seen. Again, 3 out of 6.
Episode 1.
So
Episode 2. Ah,
yeah, we're gonna do. So that's all we got for this one. Appreciate you guys joining. By all means, make sure you hit that little red subscribe button. Hey, down in the comments, tell me what you think about this episode. What do you think about what's coming up as far as what the
two
final
left.
outcome could be?
Two
Hey,
left.
I need to know what you think, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.